Good morning, folks. How's everybody doing? I tell you what, I told Jonathan this morning, I said, boy, it's a nice feeling to be on the sidelines, wait for opportunity rather than looking at a stock or whatever, hoping it's going to go up. And it gives you a different perspective when we've done what we've been able to do. So I think it was a good decision to sort of pull things back, watch these next couple of days and see if we can't find some targeted opportunities. If I do, there are two things you could look for in the TNT group. It's a lot easier logistically to put trades in there today. And then also the weekend side hustle, I'll do that trade when it sets up. So those are two trades we can look forward to. But other than that, it has to be targeted. And I want to get to the weekend and be able to take advantage of what I would call what's happened the first couple of weeks of June. The news came out this morning, reaffirmed the fact that all the people that jumping off the building, you know, are bouncing off the pavement. That's what I'm talking about. You just can't read the press. You got to look at the numbers. But let's go through, if we will. Why don't we do the slide presentation first, Jonathan? You want to do that first? Yeah. There's a high degree of risk involved in it, and past performance is not indicative. Now, for folks, you know, every month I start this process, and that process starts with collecting tickers that might make me money, okay? And you can see Jonathan has got the tickers right there. He's got it set up. If you look at the E-mini, it's still bullish above the 59.91 area. Last night, we had our first new low in 4 days. It occurred, I think the low, let me give it to you to be exact. We'll have it. Yeah, it was 59.87.75. And that was 3 points below the two previous lows, which are at 91. So if you did play long on the E-mini day, you'd have to go down to about 84 as a stop. You might write that number down, 84. Gold is in the spotlight a little bit today. It was one of my magic 5. I've been watching gold. Gold's been adding a little bit over the course of time. If you look at the 3-day high, 34.17, that might be a breakout trade today on gold. Bonds, let's talk about bonds. Bonds are bullish for the first time in a long time, above the 113.20. They will have resistance at 115, but I think the odds are swinging pretty strong. We're going to get an interest rate cut. I said that I thought, you know, it wasn't unheard of for the Fed in between meetings would do an interest rate cut. Maybe that's what's going to happen. Who knows? We've got a Fed meeting coming up, and we'll just see what they say. Chuck alluded to the fact, what do they think going forward? Keep your eye on that part. He was right. All right, if you look at Apple, it's bearish. If you look at Apple, Apple has been very bearish for the month. Archer is a new kid on the block. We already made money on that one. Put 20% in the. Let's get into Archer and make 20+%. AMD, I got high hopes for AMD. AMD is a great stock when you're in a bull market. I bet you after July, you'll be looking at 145 or higher after July. We got to navigate through June, get all the silliness out of the way. Berkshire's been correcting. If you look at it, it's really sort of bearish for the month. If you look at the 486.66, it does this from time to time. This is a bearish month. Syntax is an aluminum company I put on here. Keep your eye on that one. Circle is a new kid on the block. I'm watching it. I actually have not much, about 5 shares of it just to watch it. CoreWeave has been very good to us, very good, and I'm going to trade it again after it settles down. But if it got above 166, we'd be going to different levels there. Dave is a stock I haven't traded a lot, but I got my eye on it. I own a few shares of it. Dave. Dollar General. Dollar General, I told you about it back in the sub 100 days. It made it over 100, went to 110, and now it needs to get above the 114.72. Put Disney back on the block. If you look at Disney, Disney's moving higher for the first time in about 2.5 years. Hopefully they got their act together. Who knows? Freeport-McMoRan's been a slow one for us, but it did pay us. Freeport-McMoRan, there's GLD, 311.88. We're looking at 312 this morning, so that might be a potential play on gold. IRM, if you look at that, looks fairly decent, maybe headed to 110. Joby Aviation, that's a stock we bought about 6. It's up at 870, 935 right now, looking long and good. Johnson & Johnson's a long-term hold we got. We can get above 157.5 at a challenge, and we'll get some movement there. MU's been a great play. NNE is taking off to 34. Eventually we'll make it to 45. I hold that stock in my IRA. NVIDIA is bullish. You got to get above 145 for the next phase. Oklo is a stock that has paid us well and will continue to pay. ON's a new kid on the block. I like the way it trades. I think there's some upside there. Palantir. Think about Palantir. It's 135.98, looking good. QQQ 531. SPY looks like the 3-day high is 597. Look at SPY right now, it's over that. Still bullish. Tesla is coming back. Resistance is at 327. Looks like the SPAD has calmed down a little bit. X above 54, 55 looks good. XLE 84.19. You look at it, it's looking good. Okay. And that's XLE. Josh, is that the last one?
Yes, it is, Tom.
Yeah, Sherry's got a selection, what do you call it? A suggestion?
Yeah, I see the suggestion. I normally do that. Just haven't done that yet.
He works very hard, Sherry. Keeping up with all that stuff is not easy. And we provide it as a service to help people make more money. Let's read some of my recent trade results at DTI. I just like looking at this because this is great and tells you maybe you ought to listen. May was a blockbuster month at DTI. I love seeing that blue color there. Blue's my favorite color, by the way. That's summary of page 1, page 2. Zebra is a story of perseverance. It's a special program I created. It is really rocking and rolling after a disastrous start. But I think we're in pretty good shape there. We'll keep plugging along. Zebra. Another page had a couple losers on that one. There's page 4, more May, more gray. There's 3 total losses. One was 3%, not bad. So we had 41 winners, 3 losers, a 93% accuracy in May. If that doesn't get your business, I don't know what would. That's about as good as it gets. Until we rolled into June. Look at June. Hot streak going. We kicked it off with our sawgrass. Look at this go. Go, June, go. Blue, blue, blue. There's a sawgrass summary right there. Pretty good stuff there. I'd say it's worth being at the conference. You know, I was shocked that we have pre-booked sawgrass. I think there's a few seats left. If anybody's interested, you go check out with Kelly Barber at DTI Trader, or Andraka at DTI Trader. So far, we got 18 winners, 0 losers, 100% accuracy, and we're on pause right now. We're on pause. Now, we're not including all the extra trades that I hand out to folks in the after hours market via my TNT and Futures First. Probably had 15, if I had to guess, TQQ plays. Pre-market trading, making money. There's the E-mini in the futures first, making money. We had 45 points, 60 points. We're making killing over there with our education, futures first. There's the TQQ. Another TQQ. I like that TQQ early. Look at that one. We bought gold. We bought TQQ. MU on that morning made money. Herman says it best. He closed the July 3rd 550 call on QQQ for exactly 100% win. Told you if I listen to you, my count would surely increase. Patience pays. Thanks so much, Herman. Herman's been around. He knows. In summary, follow me and grow your account. That's the only conclusion you can come with the data I'm producing. Let's talk about another exciting new edition coming by T-Buzz Talk and Trade. We've had such popular people tell me all the time about my 10 tickers, and we're completing a run in sunrise signals. We win 70%, 17%. I love the sunrise because I like to do pre-market trading. It sets up the day. 24% on Palantir. And then the new beta set of trades coming into TNT will be the option, like an option service, inside TNT where I take it. SLV was our first kickoff trade there. And we'll start rolling out with the track record we have going outside. Anyone would want to be involved. You know, anytime, day or night, it's a 24-hour market. I'm looking for things at certain times, sometimes in the evening, sometimes in the morning, sometimes during the day. Go to dtitrader.com/TNT. Hey, figure out what membership you want to be part of, but be part of it. Go to 904-706-3532 if you got any questions. Get involved. Get involved. All right, let's go live and go to, if we can, let's go to the actual Telegram channel this morning and pick up at 8:10 in the morning. 8:10.
Okay, Tom. Let's see here. TNT. Yeah, should be able to see the TNT channel, I believe. 8:10.
Well, we want to start at 5. That's when I start posting. Let's see what I posted today.
All the way back at 5. Okay, that'll be 4 my time.
We got a lot of activity there, don't we, in the morning? Whoa.
Sure do.
All right. What's the first thing I did? What did I say?
You reminded folks that there's PPI this morning at 8:30.
Right.
And you said the market has made a new 4-day low down at 59.87.
Yep. That got my attention this morning when I checked it out. Okay, that'd be your stop. Would have to be lower than that if you go long. Just use that number. Okay. Yeah. What's the next thing I said?
You always post a snapshot of the,
overnight action.
Low. Yep. You can see that low there, 59.87 on the S&P futures.
Okay.
And you gave your Magic 5, ACHR, Palantir, TLT, GLD, and QQQ.
All right, let's stop here and go to a live market and look at Palantir. Palantir has moved up. It's up at 136. When I posted it, it's about 135, wasn't it? Yep, 135. That's $1 on Palantir. All right. What else did I post in my Magic 5?
ACHR, TLT, GLD, QQQ.
All right. Look at GLD because ACHR is holding right where it was. Yeah, see gold's moving higher. You can see it right there. That's what I was pointing out. Okay. Let's do one more. What was another one?
TLT or QQQ?
I do TLT because bonds are going higher. Everybody see that? I'm pointing out that bonds are strong this morning. Everybody see that? So write down 87.15. That's a key number now on TLT. All right, that's the magic five. I do that every morning, not the same stocks where I think money is flowing. I try to organize it and win, place, draw the first three. And then if I really got a strong conviction, I'll type in TQQ or SQQ to let you know that's where you ought to go. I didn't have a strong conviction this morning. Okay. Now, what's the next thing I did?
You said the market needs some room to breathe, so keep your hands off the mouse.
Right.
And you said
gave a pivot number too, didn't it?
You did 60-20.
Yeah, that's my pivot number for today. And that tells us, hey, they shake off the downtrend. We're going to look higher if we get above that 60-20. So you got two numbers you walk away with. The low, which was 59.87, and the pivot number 60-20. Notice it came right up to it and stopped, didn't it?
Sure did.
Somebody say my numbers about the best they are. Chuck would argue with me, but some people do.
You gave us some news, some key news.
Yeah, here's the news. I want you to look at this news. It got my attention when I looked at it. There's some tensions mounting in the background with Iran. They talked about Oracle and Oklo and tariffs down towards the end. And talking about NVIDIA's taking a piece with Samsung in a company. So, but anyway, I like to post the trending news where you got an idea of where Wall Street's looking. There it is.
You posted, looks like a side-by-side of the S&P futures and the NASDAQ.
Yeah, I wanted to show people, even though the market was breathing, the early indication of RB2 was higher. That's what I was wanting to show people by posting those side by side. Okay.
You posted a MPI chart of Oracle.
Yeah, Oracle is a stock. If you look over there to the left, everybody see that high at 191.39. Everybody see that high there? I'd put an alert in at 191.39. You get higher than that today, you're gonna see higher prices on Oracle. Notice how it's hanging near the top end of the range after the earnings, and we'll take a look at that if those events occur. But what I'm doing, folks, is preparing for my day, and I go through a series of what stocks to buy, what stocks to avoid, where the E-mini NASDAQ, any news out there, how's the table set for today and what to do with it. These are the kind of things that I do early for you. And no matter if you get up later, this is still timely information for today. We got numbers we walk away with. We got a lot of different things. And then I do a video, and the video comes out usually around 7 to 7:15. Here, I repeated 60-20, take a look at Oracle, and they really got to show me today for me to trade. Okay. There's the, what time is this coming out, Jonathan?
This is the initial posting at 7:10. We want to get down
7:10. This comes out at 7:10 right after RBX. Okay.
See, market down, gold up.
Yep.
Yep, Chuck's first posting of the reference bar data.
There's the reference bar data. I like having those numbers. I print those off, by the way. Okay. You can get the high and low, sort of frame the market for yourself, but I print those off. Always in the look of those numbers that's going to make people react, and there they are.
Market rundown is going to be hard to see here on my screen.
Yeah, the market rundown is a new feature we added just for TNT. It just sort of says where our focus is, news events that are coming out, key numbers, things to look for. And that comes out usually, after 7:38 time frame.
All right, here's your sunrise for 8:10 Eastern time.
Right. All right, keep going. That's all the charts. You can see it's sort of sideways waiting on the news. Today, you probably wouldn't have a good signal because of the big news. And if you go look at the summary, that's down at the bottom, a lot of good information right there at your fingertips. Go back. Let's see what they were saying. Go back. Got the SPY. See, the SPY, QQQ, Diamond were bullish. IWM is bullish. That's still staying. The run zone from oil's bullish. That was the run is on from at 5 o'clock breakout on RB2. Look how they got TLT. One of the stocks is there. That's pretty good. Yep. Kevin, I would wait for it to get above 60.20 and then I'd go to Oracle on that number. Great question. He asked me, am I waiting on Oracle? Yeah, I'm waiting on Oracle and the market. Because if the S&P goes down, Oracle's going to pull back. As they say, that's a fact, Jack, or Kevin in that case. Here's how we looked. If you look right there, everything had turned soft in front of the number. That's what it's telling you there at 7. You can see how people that were long started taking profit. That's what it's telling you when you look at that. Okay. A wealth of information's there to start your day. I think, how much is that worth to you? It's the question you got to ask yourself. Is it worth $200 a month? If it's not, I don't know if you're serious about trading. This will help you whether you're a short-term trader, swing trader, or a long-term trader, because a lot of value in that research, daily research I put out there. I use it, so it must be okay. And a lot of people that when I meet them face-to-face, they say, that's a wonderful room. Barbara, what you should do is wait for the setup. When I say hands off, you had big news. When did you have big news? 8:30 on PPI. It came out pretty positive, but was it so positive that we're above my pivot number? If it gets positive after RB3, which is 9:30 to 10, and we're above 60.20, then you'd go look at Palantir. You'd look at the QQQ. You'd look at maybe the TQQ if it got positive. You'd look at gold if it stayed up, and TLT. So that's how you use it. Does that explain it, Barbara? I know you knew, but does that explain it to you? Somebody says people are not TNT, they're losing money. I agree with you there. All right, the market's open, and so I've got to get on the road, but right now we're about 60.18. The process requires me to look at the market. What time? 10 o'clock. So get joined on TNT. I'll see where we are. I'll tell Jonathan we're going to do anything in that room. We'll do it, if it sets up. S&P's at 60.90 right now, 60.90. Yeah, he'll put the slide up there where you do that. Y'all have a great day. I'll be back when I got something to say. There's your membership. Get involved. I'll see everybody on the flip side.